welcome to Lines on Design. I'm Debbie Lines. I am here with a dear friend, Wolfgang Brinza. We are here at Magnolia Upholstery, and this is always a treat for us to come actually to where the creative happens. I love it. I walked in today, I'm like, oh my word. Let me tell you, I'd love to say it always looks like this, but you actually put things out that we can see, which is really fun.
Yeah.
Magnolia Upholstery's been around forever, and I've used you as an upholsterer for I don't even want to say how long.
We've been here 24 years.
I mean, is it really 24 years
Yeah,
now?
24 years in the same location.
Is it really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What we're seeing now in design, again, we talk about blending, we talk about creating your own sanctuary, your own lifestyle. And one of the things that I think is so nice about upholstering and reupholstering is that you can have pieces that you really love.
Right.
And you can just change them to suit. And before we even show what's going on here,
Right.
is I'll use my own stuff as an example. I spent a lot of money. It's one of the anchor pieces in my home. Spent a lot of money on it and decided that that would be a piece that I would keep and build around.
Right.
And I think it's on its, fifth time of being
Yeah.
recovered. And but you taught me
Right.
that if I have a good piece,
Hold on to it.
hold on to it.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about some things that you've done within this little
Right.
vignette that you've created. And I'd like to start with a very traditional, this chair, for example.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. That's an old, it's an old frame that actually, the chair actually had a broken leg.
Okay.
It was re-glued and it was ready to go in the dump.
Oh, but,
Yeah, well, we just recycled it.
so do you encourage people to bring in their old stuff and see, look at the
Well,
magic.
you know, what happens is you can create your own.
Okay.
You know, you have more choices of fabric.
Okay.
You know, the quality, you know, as I always tell people, if I ever want to need to get some reupholstery done, I buy something that's 20 years old or older.
Okay.
Because the quality is
Amazing.
different. Yeah, it's different than what it is today. At the same time, also, you have to decide what do you want to use it for.
Okay.
You know, maybe a young family starting out, they don't want to spend that much money.
And that
you
makes
know,
sense, yes.
Maybe for a rental property. You
What?
know,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No,
Yeah.
for a rental property.
Yeah, you know, sometimes people change it every 2 years.
Exactly.
Or gets abused. You know, so, you know, I don't see where you need to spend that, or would want to spend that kind of
That
money
tons
on it.
of money.
Or, yeah, okay.
The other thing that's interesting with you, and I think a lot of people don't consider it when they're talking about upholstery, is you can actually build pieces.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
have to look at this piece because, are you going to tell secrets about this piece?
No, can't tell you.
Can't tell secrets. Yeah, I'm going to have to kill you if I tell you this. But it's got a variety of fabrics on it, which
Right.
makes it a lot of fun. But it's a
Right.
little settee, and it's really perfect.
Right, yeah. It's built out of 2 chairs.
How about that, Mike? What do you think?
Two chairs, and then yes, we built the wings to it, and we built the back to it, and you know, and it's 2 fabrics, and there's a lot of times
This is beautiful.
people do use multiple fabrics on the same piece.
Yes, as a matter of fact, that's very true.
Yeah.
And I think you've demonstrated that beautifully here. The other thing we're seeing a lot in design, I have to admit, is it's fabulous, is
Yeah.
we're seeing large, oversized ottomans used as cocktail tables.
Right.
And you made the first one. You talked me into doing one about
Right.
4 or 5 years, well, actually about 6, 7 years ago, and I absolutely love it.
Right.
But talk us through what you did here.
Well, we just built this for basically to show what can be done, and we make everything custom built. I mean, if you don't want it that size, if you want it a little bit smaller, if you want different fabrics on it, different legs on it,
Make it look more contemporary, make
Right.
it look more traditional.
right? We can even make it where you can, you know, lift the top off
Okay.
and use it as storage, as a storage bin.
And I think even in talking to
Right.
you about what we were going to do is I think I'm going to have you do one of those right now. And I think
Right.
it would make, for a small scale, we're going to do a small
Right.
scale place, and that's
Right.
what I need. And this is a nice one too.
Right. Well, that's made out of what they call recycled leather.
Oh, now, all right, recycled leather is?
Well, basically, when you use leather, there's a lot of waste
Okay.
because the animals basically
Aren't
not
square.
grow square.
See, I love that, yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of waste, and what they do is they found a way. They take the leather and they grind it up, just like they do particle wood,
Okay.
and glue it together, In reality, it's a leather backing with a vinyl front of it, you know, and it has a tremendous wearability.
I was going to say it feels really
right,
good
and it looks like
flexible.
leather.
I love that.
Basically, all your leather furniture these days, the majority of them, the only thing that's real leather is what touches your skin.
Oh, interesting.
And the rest of it is all vinyl. What they do is they dye the leather and they
match the
dye
vinyl.
the vinyl all at the same time, so it's from the same dye lot.
And you know, again, from a design point of view, I love that. It's because it makes it, to me, it still has that rich feel.
Well, that, and also it keeps down the cost.
Okay, which I like that too, to tell you the truth.
I mean, that's, for example, on your car. You know, they have leather seats, but the back of it is vinyl.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, so, I mean, if they would make the whole thing leather, it would tremendously increase the cost
price.
of it.
And that does make sense. And
Right.
it's probably more sustainable too. We don't kill as many little critters. You know, once again, making a shift.
Eat more chicken.
Eat more chicken, yeah. A shift from ottomans and things like that. We talked about seating. We've talked about ottomans.
Yeah.
Here is what I'm seeing more and more and more and more and more. Upholstered headboards have made a resurgence, and I absolutely love them because they're comfortable. You have created 3 of the most interesting headboards I've seen in a heck of a long time.
Yeah.
Let's go here, and Mike, yell at me if I'm blocking the view. There's nothing else. See the headboard? All right, talk me through this, if you will.
That's basically a king size headboard.
Look at this.
You know, with ultra suede on it, and you know, shelf on it.
It's this I like. This is great with great embellishment.
You can store your wine bottles and
Stop it. Yeah, exactly. Or my coffee cup right here with my little French press, or not.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, it's my Diet Coke, but whatever. Right. This looks great, but this ultra suede. Now, does that wear pretty well?
Yes, extremely well.
Do you need to come in? Are all king beds the same now? Or do
Pretty
you need-
much the same. They're not very too much, except maybe some of them may be custom made, a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. But we don't have anything pre-made.
Okay.
So everything we make it to your size and specs. Okay. I mean, you might not want it that high. You might want it higher. Remember,
we did like a giant.
That was 96 inches high.
And you know, I was looking in Dwell magazine the other day, and I'm seeing all of these huge, oversized leather upholstered headboards now, and I still love it. This, I think, will really appeal to a lot of people. It's a very classic navy blue, again with the
with the nailheads.
the nailheads that are brushed nickel.
Right.
So it's a very modern look, but it's still got that classic feel and flavor.
Well, we have 4 boards for
Okay.
different types of nails that you can select. I mean, some people don't want this type of nail. They might want a shiny kind of nail. They might want it a little bit duller, a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. I mean, there's a large variety of nails that are available these days.
And also the design can be customized or to anything you want.
If you see it in Southern Living or one of those magazines, bring it in and we'll try to duplicate it. That's basically it.
Well, and no, that's exactly right. And I think sometimes we get so frustrated because we can't find what we're looking for.
Right.
We've got resources in our backyard and we forget to come and look. When I walked in today, I was like, oh my gosh, I think I need this headboard right now.
Yeah.
But it's just, a lot of times we don't see it. I love this. It's all about gray right now, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Talk
a lot
me-
of dark colors. Well, we just came up with this particular design. Originally, we wanted all one piece in the front. And then...
no, I love this.
You know, just came up with a, two panel kind of thing. And it looks much more...
Well, it's visually interesting, and it looks extremely sophisticated to me.
And again, we can make it any size you want. That particular one is a king size.
When you go to conferences or you go to hotels or whatever, do you take a look at the styles that are out there, look through magazines?
Oh, absolutely. I look at them, and I look at the new furniture, how they've been built, if they found some easier way or different way to do it. I mean, there's always something new to be.
Tips and tools of the trade.
Tricks of the trade, you know, and especially with, you know, furniture that come commercially.
Exactly.
You know, they will find a way to make it, you know, more cost effective to build and upholster.
Well, we hope this little segment has at least teased you into taking a look at your furniture and really not being afraid to be creative. You've taught me a lot about, you know, go get a magazine, go online, go on Pinterest, do whatever you need to do, print out some pictures, bring them in. It's amazing and cost effective. I mean, it really is. Wolfgang, thank you so much. We want y'all to stay with us. We'll be right back here on Lines on Design.